Welcome back, everyone. It is your host and caster, iCCup here, and welcome back to the C-Ring Tour of February 17th, run by iCCup Face. Thank you for running this tour, Face. Thank you very much. And we are in game number 2 of our finals. So our finalists will be our Red Terran at the 6 o'clock position, who will be MFG, and his opponent in the top right-hand corner at the 12 o'clock. It will be the White Zerg CrVxT, or CR for short and easier speaking capabilities of myself. So, game 1, if you didn't really catch it, really wasn't that exciting. It was just kind of, it was going to be a 2-hatch Muta, but Terran just wasn't ready for a lot of speed links to come out. And the question I have, though, is a 2-hatch Muta, I feel like, is dependent upon you droning up to the point where you have to get the 2-hatch Muta. So I wonder if he held that off. I would have thought Terran would have held off that game. You know, because ultimately his economy would have been shot, because I mean he made at least 6. He at least spent 6 larvae on lings instead of drones, and in up to that point of going for a 6-minute all-in, where you're dependent off of getting 600 minerals, 600 gas, that as quickly as that, I would definitely expect that you would need a high drone count. Now we do have a 2 barracks opening right here. Now this is something that we saw Matt do in the Gosu match, actually, this opening, or similar to this, Matt versus Cute Pain. Something that I've been practicing actually a whole lot in my Terran versus Zerg as of recently. What it does is allows you to pressure before, it's supposed to pressure before you need to, before you throw down your command center. So you end up getting about 10 to 12 Marines, fire bats, and then 2 medics, and you push out around that time with stim, and then you can generally hit by when U-238 shells are done as well, and then you follow up with a command center behind all of it. To me, it's a pretty difficult build to execute, just in my ability. Whoopsie. Oh, and the drone actually will get deflected there, so we'll be playing in the dark right now. But what is absolutely critical about this build is that you need to push. You need to push off the Zerg for not knowing when the push is coming, or else they'll just throw up 3 Sunkens. So something that I have a very difficult time with. So we'll see how MFG will decide to go with that. Unfortunately, though, isn't grabbing the gas, so this will actually maybe just be a Marine push just coming off right now. Just doing a slight pressure here, so not as intense as what Matt did in his Ghost match against Cute Pain. But again, we're gonna see CR gonna be going for the 2-hatch Muta push right here. Marine's coming out here, trying to do his best of his ability here, continuing to push. What will be the reaction here? He wants to hit before the 2-hatch Muta come in here. One creep colony, 1 sunk, and these 2 lings, stalling these more and more Marines right here. Now getting the refinery. Interesting choice not to follow up with an expansion, to follow this up with. An often issue with this, though, is if Zerg can actually do a pretty good ling counter push when you're rallying units like this. But there are, what, 7 Marines here? We'll lose a Marine, though, from a missed rally, which is going to heavily hurt him. And he just looks like he'll just be pushing back right here. Now the question becomes: is he going to be able? Is he going to be able to defend a 2-hatch Muta push? Now that's the true question. As we're not going to have an expansion, so what this gas will mean something, and it could be factory tech, which would be pretty. Wouldn't set him up very good, because the 2-hatch Muta would come out and would hit before he would have any kind of Goliath timing or anything like that. Now, it will be the Academy, and it will be for Stim, but Stim might just finish by the time those Mutas come in, which will be very helpful. But has he been cutting SCVs this time? And he's going to have to get up an eBay, have to get up turrets shortly, as that would probably be the proper reaction. But I don't think Terran actually knows what's coming his way. as of last game, unless he checked the replay. Ooh, as he may have not checked last game. What exactly what his opponent was doing. If he saw it was a 2H Muta follow-up, then he might have reacted differently here. But we're gonna have another reiteration of game 1. He's gonna bring in a whole lot of Marines right here, but he has the CC to stop as a nice kind of wall off right here. Marines are actually doing quite a bit of damage as the lanes were continuing to funneling in there. And back at the Zerg base right now, Spire's just about to finish here. The Lings haven't been able to do as much damage, and again, spending a lot of larva on those Lings right here, but it doesn't look like it actually matters, as he'll be able to produce about 4 or 5 Mutalisks on the way. And he's going to come in here with a handful of Marines right here, but this is an issue pushing out here. Some of these Speedlings are actually enough to dwindle that attacking force. And now what these Mutalisks, there's really no worry anymore. The Mutalisks are going to be easily able to kill this off, and what's even more unfortunate for Terran is that his eBay's not even done, so these turrets hopefully will get up for Terran in time. I believe they will, because the Mutalisk should be able to intercept these Marines and stuff and stall for enough time for Terran to get up his turrets. The question now becomes getting up the volleys that he needs to do. The medics aren't really going to be able to heal as efficiently right now. Killing off the rest of the Marines right here and just kind of killing off the stray fire rats and stuff right here. Now, Terran, what will be the reaction here? No turrets so far going down. None. He doesn't have the money to. One turret going up. Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to be enough. One Mutalisk actually very low on HP. There are 5 Mutalisks in this bunch right now, and continuing to make more and more Mutalisks. Mutalisk coming in here. One turret is going up right here, but ultimately we'll be able to deflect this away. So maybe he has defended the 2-hatch Muta. I feel like this is considerably less strong than it should be, though. Again, I feel I'm going back to my hunch on the constant Ling production in the early game, but we shall see now. Ooh, Mutalisk finding a straight turret right here. Marines will be sitting forward right here, but with proper micro, he should be fine, and he will get out of there without losing any Mutalisk right now. Now, something that I really like what Q-Pain did is what he ultimately, when he was doing a ton of Mutalisk harass, he'd take the really weakened ones off to the side for about maybe a minute or two so they would regen HP, so that wouldn't happen, so you wouldn't lose a Mutalisk right on the retreat from one stem Marine right here. We'll find a stem Marine, stray Marine right there, and we'll kill it off right here. Decent control, but nothing game-winning right here, nothing game-changing, and these Mutalisks are gonna, provide for cover, but this all in, will it actually be effective enough, or is it better for CR to just go for more bases? I don't know. I'm not really sure if I'm there to judge, but ultimately I'm not really hold to. This isn't. How do I say? I mean, he's not doing like massive damage, and he's not really following this up with anything. This is what I'm a little worried. He's going to be getting up to a point where he's going to be able to start after 2 volleys, be able to kill off a missile turret. But losing Marines, losing a Mutalisk every time he goes in there, and he's only rallying one at a time really at this time. So he's taking a lot of fire, continuing to take a lot of fire. These Mutalisk micro has to be better if he's going to want to continue with this 2H Muta push. Or else, again, he's going to be better off taking a 3rd base. That's what he's going to be doing right here. And I like this call. He's still containing, but again, like I said, this isn't gonna do a whole lot anymore. He's gonna kill an SCV here and there, but there's too many turrets up. He's too well defended at this point to actually just die from this 2H Muta push. The question now becomes, once Terran can relieve himself of this ongoing onslaught of the Mutalisk, Muta Micro, will it be able to actually kill off the Zerg? Because remember, 2H Muta is very all-in. If you're looking at this, there's no additional tech. The only kind of nice transition what this would lead into is a Guardian transition, but we're not even seeing a Queen Stuff being thrown down right here. Marines continuing to stem in here, continuing to hurt those Mutalisks. Mutalisks are just kind of volleying at this barracks, not accomplishing too much right here. And again, is it worth continuing to produce Mutalisks? I doubt he's Jaedong and he's going to be able to, control, 24 Mutalisks. And actually looking at this, he only has about probably a dozen on the map entirely, as this is only 7 right here, and this will make it 11. Now, an interesting thing about 11 Mutalisks is that you can actually 2-volley a turret down. After 2 volleys, it will just burn down to the ground, so if you want to wait for it to do your 3rd volley, you can just let that sit and burn. That's of course without repairing right now. Mutalisk coming back in here, trying to kill off these turrets right here. Nice, continuing to harass this. Terran, you know, trying to do his best right here. I mean, he has a lot of medics right now for the lack of Marines right here. So he's actually doing a decent amount of damage right here, losing a Mutalisk right there. But at this time, this is what he needed to do. He needed to join these Mutalisks together, and that's exactly what he's going to be doing. The Marine count is down to 0 almost, and now down to 0. So doing a lot of damage here, and he gets his 3rd base being established right here, so I assume that he could just continue this 10 Mutalisks right here, and if he's constantly able to harass them like he is, he should be able to power drone up, or drone, considerably now, but he has so many more Mutalisks now. But again, I don't think he's going to be able to utilize all of them beyond 12, because I don't think he's going to be able to dual Unimicro, but proving to be very effective here, and Terran just not teching. Terran's reaction to this has kind of been kind of subpar, to be honest. There's no proper way to deal with this until you can get vessels, unless your bio is actually considerably good. Throwing up turrets left and right would have been better if he could spend his gas on something a little bit better, which would, I mean, he's up 1,200 gas. What that should have been used for would have been teching up to, to factory tech and then ultimately into vessels, and then he should have been able to defend this properly. But unfortunately, what we're seeing is we're just seeing a lack of, I mean, just desperately trying to get Marines at this time, and that's gonna cost him. And at some point, he may be able just to move with all of his Mutalisks. I mean, he's getting up his 3rd gas going right here, so he's gonna have even more Mutalisks production now. Back at his base, still no queen or anything like a queen's nest. So, not as much as an insult to Terran, but it's just an improper reaction to a 2-hatch Muta at this point. I mean, at this time, he really should have known that this aggression is continuing to go on, and should have dealt this with accordingly. And now we're just kind of seeing Terran kind of crash and burn at this time. At this point, I would say this really kind of beyond the point of being able to do anything. He can't do anything. His base is too susceptible. He could try to throw a factory down here. He could try to attack the 2 vessels, but by the time he gets out across the map with a decent force to actually do any damage against Zerg, his army's going to be, cut in half by the Mutalisk harass, of course, by 1. And 2, I mean, he's going to be up to, I mean, he's going to be Defiler attack before there's even tanks out, or vessels. So even if this game does progress, Terran doesn't really have much of a hope at this time, unfortunately. And he's actually going to be falling into Lurker Tech, actually, to follow this up as he's getting the Hydrogen up. Because he kind of realized, and again, I mean, this 2-edge Muta push is nice, and it's considerably done more damage than I would have anticipated it would have done. As he's kind of like made like 1,000 Mutalisks. But going with the Lurkers should be the end-all, be-all to this game, because even if there is detection everywhere, it's not like he can actually kill off Lurkers in any kind of considerable cost-effective fashion. Nor could he even probably kill them anyway, because I mean this base is so in jambles, and it's creating quite the good artificial chokes for Lurkers. Is he droning now? I really kind of wish. Okay, there we go. He's actually droning right here. And this is the point. He's going to have an 11 right now. You can just 2-volleying. As you can see, that will burn down within a couple seconds right here. Not volleying right there. Taking a lot of fire from turrets right there. Of course, totally fine at this point in time because, well, I mean, it's so far ahead. You could probably just throw away a dozen Mutalisks and it probably wouldn't matter. Now, Terran. Okay, there's the factory. Actually, placing it where I would have thought he would have placed it. So awesome about that. But Mutalisks, there comes a point, and I've learned this on firsthand as a player. there comes a point where they can just, the Zerg can get so many freaking Mutalisks, it doesn't matter how many turns. Because I just die anyway. Because what you, what you should be doing is spending your gas on something worthwhile, which again is Vessels. Or Valkyries. Valkyries are kind of more of a fashionable way to kill them, because you have to micro them so well. And you need a decent amount of them. But you can, they are multi-purposeful, as there wouldn't be, as you could overload harass, if that's what your end game is. But the list of options to deal with this would have been tech to Vessels, which he's doing, but considerably, and we're 15 minutes in this game, or Vessels, of course, or Valkyries. But Valkyries are the less. Valkyries are kind of more, I don't even know how to say, Valkyries are kind of like a, they don't help you in the end game as much, like the late game rather, but rather like harassment, they just have different tools in the Vessels. So it depends on what you actually want to follow up with. Like, they're both viable options to counter Mutalisks, but I don't know. I mean, he still doesn't even have the second gas going. Like, he realizes that he doesn't even need the second gas. And, by the way, we had a fourth base being established. He scans it. And what does he do? Nothing. But, I mean, we'll see what these Marines can do. He's also 6 factories. 6 barracks, rather. And he will try to stem right here, but these Beetles are just, I mean, they have +1 Grave Worm right now. He's getting the Queen's Nest for Hive Tech. My God. Lurkers coming in here as well. This is going to be painful. Let's see how this goes. Oh, this could be beautiful to watch, guys. Watch how many SCVs die. Oh, I want to watch them all, like, burn in, or die in one jumble. So that will be game 2, guys, of the finals. So congratulations to CrVxT for being our finalist. And again, congratulations to MFG for being a finalist as well. No small feat. I believe there was at least 18 players in the C-Rank tour. So congratulations for getting to the finals, dude. You get your ladder points back as well. You get, I believe, what? I mean, maybe like 4 times the return that you win in with a tournament. So good for you. You know, obviously, I mean, a 2H meta is not something easily to deal with. Of course, you could have dealt with that better. But that's for you as a player to improve upon, not me, to tell you that. And yeah, guys, thanks for watching iCCup StarCraft TV. Again, please tell us what you think of the overlay. I haven't gotten any feedback. If you hate it, love it, just tell me, please. And again, the Twitter, where the VODs, I'm actually just uploading the VODs right after I'm casting them. So if you want to be on, like, you know, live update or something like that, because you're really into this, follow me on Twitter. And also, what that Twitter account does, it's not that I want followers or anything, but it's a way to easily just kind of give out bits of information. I'm actually, like, when I'm not laddering, because around, I believe, 8 o'clock on my time. Actually, you know what? I'll talk about this in a different video, probably at the beginning of the next game. So we're gonna go on the next finals of a BC tour coming up. So guys, don't go anywhere. iCCup StarCraft TV. This is the place for your Brood War. Your host iCCup Fitz signing out, and catch you in the next VOD, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace.